Guys, this is Salaspils concentration camp created by the Nazi Germany, and this is the memorial of the Salaspils camp on the actual site. In this video I'm going to show you the surrounding and the story of the Salaspils camp here in Latvia. Then it was under German occupation. Welcome to Salaspils. Subscribe and keep on watching. Которая здесь, вот, ага, думаю, что да. Minutes from Riga, possibly the same way like the ones that living in the concentration camps actually traveled by train. So this is the Orthodox War Cemetery for the for the soldiers and officers of Russian Imperial Army 29th Infantry Division. Seen duty in Petrovsky camp located on the bank of Daugava. Это мемориал. И там направо. Ой, какое место гигантское. This is artwork from 43. Here we go into the actual camp of Salaspils. You can actually hear just like a heartbeat from this memorial created by the Soviet power. It has changed because last time I was here like 10-15 years ago, it wasn't like this. Guys, this is Salaspils concentration camp created by the Nazi Germany, and this is the memorial of the Salaspils camp on the actual site. Then it was under German occupation, then it was Russia, of course, under the Soviet rule. Welcome to Salaspils. Subscribe and keep on watching. Guys, this is Salaspils concentration camp in Latvia, near Riga, 20 minutes from Riga by train and 20 minutes walking from the train station. And this is the story of Salaspils. So here's the story, guys, as we walk on the path of this historical place. This is World War II, first of all, was a time of unparalleled human suffering, marked by countless atrocities committed across Europe and also here in Latvia. Among the many sites of terror established by the Nazi regime was the Salaspils concentration camp, which is located near Riga, Latvia. While not as well known as Auschwitz or Dachau, Salaspils played an insignificant role in the Nazi system of oppression, forced labor, and extermination. This is, I think this might be Germany, some kind of a memorial. I don't have the audio guide, but here it is. Site something. Not is Darus. No, this is Latvian. This is Latvian text. Uh-huh. And here, guys, you can see in this camp memorial, actually, the foundation, I think it's the real foundation of real barracks. There you go. There's quite a few of them here, over there, and over here behind those bushes, on the bushes. Its legacy serves as a sobering reminder of the capacity of human cruelty and the importance of historical memory. So, establishment and purpose. The Salaspils camp was established in 1941, shortly after Nazi Germany invaded the Soviet Union in Operation Barbarossa, located about 18 kilometers southeast of Riga. The camp was initially constructed to serve as a police prison and labor correctional facility. It was later expanded and repurposed for broader use, including the internment of Jews, political prisoners, Soviet prisoners of war, POWs, and local resistance fighters. Salaspil was not a traditional extermination camp like Treblinka or Sobibor, but the conditions were nevertheless brutal and many perished due to disease, starvation, beatings, and forced labor. Construction of the camp was carried out by using the labor of Jewish and Soviet POWs. These early workers were often worked to death under inhumane conditions, even before the camp officially began, functioned as a detention center. The Nazis operated Salaspils with the assistance of Latvian collaborators, many of whom were part of auxiliary police forces or paramilitary groups. The living conditions in Salaspils were horrific. Prisoners were housed in overcrowded wooden barracks with little protection from the cold Baltic winters. Food was scarce and extremely poor quality, contributing to widespread malnutrition and death from starvation. Sanitary facilities were minimal or non-existent, leading to the rapid spread of disease. Typhoid fever, dysentery, and tuberculosis were common, especially among children. And yes, children were here as well. Perhaps one of the most tragic aspects of Salaspils was its use of a site for internment of children. Thousands of children, mostly from Belarus and other occupied Soviet territories, were brought to the camp under Nazi resettlement policies or as hostages to control local population. These children, some as young as infants, were subjected to forced labor, starvation, and medical experimentation. Survivors would recounted brutal stories of beatings, long hours of labor, and death of siblings and friends from cold or hunger. It is estimated that several thousand children died in Salaspils, though exact number remains unknown due to incomplete records of the destruction of evidence by retreating German forces. In addition to children, adult prisoners were used for forced labor, both within camp and nearby industrial and military projects. The work was physically demanding, and refusal or failure often led to punishment or execution. Salaspils also served as transit camp for Jews deported from Western and Central Europe en route to extermination camps. Some were murdered in Salaspils itself, while others were sent to locations such as Rumbula or Auschwitz. The exact number of people who perished in Salaspils remain a subject of historical debate. During Soviet era, the narrative claimed that over 100,000 people died in the camp, and figure that has since been challenged by Western and Latvian historians. More recent research suggests that the number of deaths, while still tragic, was likely between 2,000 and 3,000. Most historians agree, however, the camp was a site of severe human suffering and systemic cruelty, regardless of precise numbers. So Salaspils was evacuated in late 1944 as Soviet forces advanced through Latvia. Many prisoners were killed during the evacuation or forced onto death marches. After the war, the Soviet government used the camp story to highlight Nazi atrocities, constructing this memorial complex in the 1960s. The site features a stark and powerful design, including a concrete sculpture called Mother, over here, I think, and several also others that depict the suffering of the victims. In audio installation emits a slow heartbeat symbolizing the lives lost. Today, Salaspil remains an important site of remembrance and education. It serves both as a memorial to those who suffered and as warning against dangers of fascism, totalitarianism, and racial hatred. For Latvia, the memory of Salaspil is complex. It reflects not only Nazi crimes, but also a difficult legacy of Soviet rule. And it's a really, really powerful place to be at. Heartbreaking, knowing, experiencing, even though this is a memorial and not like a museum type of thing, so it is a little bit more like artistic. Alright guys, this was it. Salaspils camp. Hope you found this interesting, and see you guys in the next Evil in Russia adventures.